see you again. Hey. Or if you're new here, I'm Misty. It's really nice to meet you. I wanted to try something that I literally just thought of on the spot, and I feel like it could be really cozy, but I don't know how it'll go. So this is a little bit experimental. And this one is not really about the visuals in the camera today, although we'll probably end up flitting around anyways. So that's why I have my stick with me, so that I have something I can fidget with and just kind of go like this throughout the narration. So today is actually going to be all about you closing your eyes, and using your imagination, using just your imagination. I really do think this one will be better if you don't watch, and that if you just picture in your mind what I'm saying. But if you do watch and it works anyways, then great, just let me know. But what I'm going to try and do is I have my computer screen right over here, and I have a really beautiful picture, like a photo. It's probably AI generated, but it's beautiful anyways. I have a picture up on my screen of a really, really pretty, cozy fall scene. And I am going to describe it to you in very great detail so that you might be able to picture exactly what it looks like. Exactly what it looks like just from my descriptions. I'll talk about the colors, the light, the weather, where the buildings are, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think it'll be easier if you close your eyes. But I'm going to be looking right here a lot anyways to kind of reference the photo and figure out the best way to describe it to you. And I just want you to imagine it in your mind and see how it feels. See if it makes you sleepy or if it just makes you feel relaxed. Yeah, so if you like this idea already, it'd be great if you could leave a like, because I've never seen a video like this. They're probably out there, but I thought this could be kind of fun. So okay, so you can just go ahead and get comfy. This is like top tier, like autumn cozy vibes goals. Okay, so I hope that it helps make you feel like that. Okay, it's fall now. I'm extremely happy about it. Extremely happy. So I wanted to be able to have these fall images even without looking at them. So okay, so I'm gonna start by describing just very general stuff so that you can paint your first wash in your mind. So you can close your eyes if you want. Close your eyes. Close them. Close your eyes. And I'm going to start by saying that this scene looks like it's on the edge of a small park. Not a big one. Probably not in the middle of a city. Maybe just off a corner of like a residential area. And the main focus of this picture is a cute little coffee shop. Just a cute, quaint little coffee shop. And it seems to be on its own, like it's kind of like an isolated building, and it's off to the left-hand side of the frame. It's taking up a little bit less than half of the frame. This little coffee shop. And then on the right-hand side of the frame, you can see rows and rows of beautiful trees with bright orange fall leaves. There's not like dozens of them, and they're not in really tidy rows. They're kind of like dispersed around like the pavement, and they're kind of taking up the foreground of the right hand side, and then there's more in the background as well. So your eyes are kind of leading you down this really pretty stone path that kind of goes right between the trees along the right hand side and the cute little cafe that is on the left. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about the weather first so that you really get that clear in your mind as you kind of paint all these other images. And then I'm going to go into all the little details. So it looks very foggy outside. Looks like it might have just rained, but it's definitely not dark. It's not dark. There is a beautiful, tall, black iron street lamp also off to the right, just in front or next to the very first orange tree that we see in the foreground there. And the street lamp is lit up, and the sky looks bright, but it's very foggy. So I feel like this could be really crisp morning time right after some overnight rain perhaps, or it could be kind of like the late afternoon just before the sun is about to start going away and darkness filling the sky. But the sky does look very bright. And then I'm going to describe what the coffee shop looks like now. So it's at kind of a 3/4 angle and feels like you're the one that's walking along the path and that you're about to pass it on your left hand side. And it is a very pretty kind of deep teal but more blue color. So it's not quite blue, but it's definitely more blue than green on like the teal scale. And it's not that kind of teal that's been like super overused. It's like a very sophisticated deep teal. And it has 2 little stone steps leading up to its front door, which is right in the middle of the building. It has big windows all around it. They don't go all the way down to the ground though. They kind of stop at maybe like just above hip level, and then they go up to pretty tall ceilings, it looks like. And the windows have just a very subtle black grid pattern on them, very subtle, and they wrap around the edges of the cafe. And the door that's in the middle is kind of set into the building. So those 2 little steps going up to it, you can see that the front door is just set kind of inward a little bit. And it's got kind of windows on either side before the door. You can't fully see it in this image, but you kind of know that it's like inlaid a little bit. And inside the shop, you can see a beautiful orange glow of lots of different lights. They're hanging from the ceiling, and they're laid into the back of the shop as well. And some of them look like tabletop lamps as well. You can't see any tables in the inside, but you can kind of envision where the sort of order counter might be. And it just is a super warm, cozy, lit cafe. Back on the outside, on the little stone steps going up to the door, there are 2 little potted plants on either side. They look like they are ferns almost, like little ferns. They're not huge, but just little pots on either side. The pots themselves are like an even deeper teal, but the ferns coming out of them are actually a bright orange, not green, they're a bright orange. And it all just looks very very fall. Below the steps, on either side of them, there are some big orange pumpkins laid on either side. There's one on the left-hand side. If you're looking at the cafe steps, there's one on the left and two on the right. And it just looks like they're very casually decorating the lovely stone sidewalk that they're resting on. A little bit closer to us in the foreground, but off to the left in front of the cafe, we can see a little outdoor seating area. It looks like the edge of a little blue iron bench and a little side table, and then just some knickknacks sort of pressed up against the corner of the building. Looks like it might be some boxes and like another pumpkin or something like that. And then right on the corner of the shop, on its left corner, if we're looking at it, if you let your eyes go up just a little bit, you'll see a little round sign that is hanging off the edge of the shop. A little round sign. It's beige in color. It's a little bit of like an oval shape, not a perfect circle. And beige in the back, and then brown letters saying coffee shop, and then some illegible text underneath that. Now, moving backwards, kind of to the right along the shop front now, right over where the steps are up to the door, there's a striped awning. It doesn't come out too far from the walls, but it does come out far enough to cover the two little stone steps going up to the door. And this awning is striped with kind of a similar beige to the little coffee shop sign, and like a deeper orangey red, very like rust color almost. So it starts with one rust colored stripe, then one beige, rust, beige, all the way to the end of the awning. And it's got just a little scalloped shape underneath the part that hangs over a little bit. And then just a little further right along there, along the just above the window on the right of the door, much higher than the first sign, there's actually another sign. This one is much more ornate is too strong, but it is much more decorative, but not super fancy. A much bigger coffee shop sign that is turned out sideways, so that, you know, if you're walking along the sidewalk and you were to see it, the shop on your left, the sign would be kind of facing you as the one walking towards it. And in big yellow letters it says coffee, and then underneath in smaller italicized white letters just says shop. And it looks like there's some painted flowers and a little bit of foliage on either side of the word shop, and on the rounded part of the sign above the word coffee there's some more foliage and flowers and things like that. But the whole exterior of the coffee shop is that beautiful teal, and there's lots of indented details in the wood, like lots of vertical indents, just to make the shape look a little bit more classy, a little bit older, a little bit more character. Just little kind of boxes of design drawn up and down the pillars of either side of the shop, and along the rim underneath the windows along the bottom. That is what our coffee shop looks like, and it is on the left of our image here. And then just past the coffee shop on the right, we can see a little park bench, and another lamppost a little bit further in the distance than our first lamppost that is on our right. A little bit further. Oh, and I forgot to mention that there are two iron lamps that look very similar to the big standing lampposts, but they are connected to the wall of the exterior of the coffee shop, and there's just one on either side of the door. One on either side of the door. Just very pretty black iron lamps, those very classy ones that are a little bit cone-shaped with the smaller part at the bottom. And then they have a nice little black iron dome on the top. Very classic looking. Very classic. And then past our other lamppost, that's just past the coffee shop, we just see big fluffy trees in the distance. About 3 of them or so in the distance. And they're a little bit foggier. They look a little bit foggier because they're further away and it's definitely foggy outside. And then they are surrounded by what looks like little kind of almost gardens with little green and orange bushes around the base. And you can just see like the suggestion that the path and the sidewalk continues beyond that. And then moving more to the right in the image, I think we can see someone's silhouette in the distance, but it's kind of hard to tell whether it's a person or whether it's just a oddly shaped bush or something. And then there's a larger tree, kind of in the just slightly out of center to the right, and it looks like it has a really dark wood trunk, and then all the leaves are just a beautiful orange color. It's not too fluffy. Looks like it's already lost some of the bottom layer of its leaves, but the kind of middle and the top still has lots going on. And it is encircled by a little wooden fence, like very low, like one of those ones that just lines the edges of a garden or something. And it's got lots of different heights of each little stick of wood. They're not all the same height. They're a little bit jagged. And it looks like there's more orange bushes around the base of this tree as well. And then coming back closer, again, we're now almost at the full right-hand side of this image. We see our lamppost, the first one we mentioned, this beautiful iron lamppost. And then just to the right a bit more is the largest tree in our foreground, and it has a beautiful brown wood trunk, and you can see its leaves much closer to where we're looking from. And they're these beautiful big maple leaves, and it's kind of stretching out of the frame. I can see one little bench just beyond that larger lamppost, and another one much closer to us at the very right of our vision, and it's a little bit blurred out. It's not in focus, but there's a little park bench there as well. And then I can see just past that larger tree, it's very foggy, but looks like in the distance there might be a home or a small apartment or something like that. Just another building tucked away in the back. I can see a little window, but I don't know what kind of place it is. And then strung very, very subtly between the two lampposts that we can see, we see a very pretty little string of lights. They're just small little lights, hanging from the little connecting cord. There's about 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 little lights along it between one lamppost and the other. And you can kind of see a little bit of a glow in the distance that suggests there might be more string lights between other lampposts in this little park that we're in. And now the last little detail is the beautiful, beautiful stone sidewalk just has a lovely, lovely orange sprinkle of fallen leaves just swept up against some of the sides and sprinkled along the middle of the walking path. And there are leaves gently falling in the air around this scene as well. The weather is kind of perfect. It almost feels like it's crisp. A little bit of fog. Hardly any people around. Might need a little bit of a sweater or a jacket to stay extra cozy. And just the very prominent color is the bright, bright orange and the beautiful stone sidewalk and the deep teal of the cute little coffee shop. Cute little coffee shop. I feel like this would be a very lovely place to wander into on a chilly day. And I feel like if there was a fireplace inside, that would be like next level cozy. But it's a truly comfy, beautiful scene. And I hope you have a bit of an image of what that might look like and how it makes you feel. Maybe if you're curious, maybe I'll post the image in my Discord eventually. And then you can see how close your imagination was to the picture that I'm describing. If you are still awake and you are just listening for some background noise, it would mean a lot if you could leave a like on the video and a comment to let me know if you liked it. This was very experimental, but I enjoyed describing the scene to you. And if you're asleep, then I hope you rest well. I hope you're resting well. And I'll see you in the next one. Good night. Or have a wonderful day. And happy fall. It's finally here. We did it. I think October is probably my favorite month too, so all of this imagery is just gets me. I'll see you next time. Stay cozy.